guys, it's Dajema. So tomorrow is October 1st and I don't know about you guys, but I get especially festive around the holidays. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually really like to bake, especially decorating. So that's what I'm going to do today. Today I'm going to be decorating cupcakes 5 different ways and in the spirit of Halloween. So if you guys want to see me get all Rosanna Pansino nerdy nummies up in here, then let's get on with the video. For the first cupcake we're going to make, it's going to be an eyeball cupcake, and these are all the materials you need. I have red frosting, white frosting, black frosting, hard candy lifesavers, a Ziploc, butter knife, scissors, and toothpicks just because they help. I'm going to be going through substitutions, so something that maybe you have in your house already can be just as fine and work just as well. We're going to frost this baby white. I have this Lifesaver hard candy bag. Originally, I was looking for the soft ones, like the squishy ones, but I couldn't find them. So this is the next best thing. But if you find, you know, squishy ones, that's perfectly fine. That's actually like what I prefer. You can literally have any of these color eye. So you can have a purple eye, orange eye, red eye, a gray eye, or a green eye. So right now I'm going to use a green eye. And all you're going to do is place this right in the middle and push it down. It's okay if it comes up right there because we're going to cover it up with black. This is the Wilton Sparkle Gel, and I wanted it to be sparkly just because I thought it gave it a little pizzazz, you know, like it's not just black, it's black with sparkles, like hooray. So all you're going to do is cover the center in black to make it look like a pupil. And this is where our toothpicks are going to definitely come in because it's not going to be exact. So I dilated my pupil and I made it bigger. So for the veins on this guy, we're going to use some red frosting. And of course you can always get some white frosting and you can just add red food coloring to this. But I preferred this frosting because look at how bloody that is, guys. Like, it's the perfect color. So this is the Wilton Red Creamy Decorator Red Icing. And that's what I'm going to use. But I don't have a piping bag, so we're going to make one. All you're going to do is get a butter knife. Scoop up a good amount. Look at that. Shove it in a corner. Squeeze it as much as you can to the tip. Oh, you need a little bit of help there. There we go. So just squeeze it to the corner. So now when it's like this, you're just going to twist the top. Twist it not super tight, so when you cut off the tip, it's not like oozing out. So just leave some room in there. You're going to get some scissors, and you're going to cut it pretty fine because they're supposed to look like veins. There. Wicked. And there you have it. A strained eye. So the next cupcake is going to be a spider cupcake. All you're going to need is some green frosting, green sprinkles, that bag that we made last time for the last cupcake, you're going to need that. That's why I kind of put in a little bit extra. Oreo cookies. The black sparkle gel that we used last time as well. And this is optional. I'll explain this when the step comes, but you might want some white candy melts. This is the Wilton Green Creamy Decorator Icing. And look at that color. It's like super grassy, like that's what I'm going for. I'm kind of going for like a spider on the grass, but like a wicked spider, and you'll see in a second how that's going to turn out. The first layer is just going to be a kind of thin but still full coverage, like my foundation, on the cupcake. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to cover it in sprinkles. So now we're going to use these green sprinkles, and we're just going to coat this thing. So now we're gonna make our spider with Oreos. I didn't need to scrape off the frosting, it came off clean. So we're gonna use the one with no frosting on it. You're just gonna put it right in the middle. And before we put the eyes, I'm just going to add 4 legs on each side. You're gonna wanna peek them up and then bring them back down. So like the top of a triangle. That's what we're going for. Now we're just gonna add the eyes. So there's a couple ways that you can do this. If you want your spider to be very open-eyed, then you can use some candy melts. I don't know about you guys, but you know those fake eyes that come in like sprinkle packages at the store? Those things, like, I can never bite them. Like, they're so rock hard. I don't even know how they're considered edible. Like, I literally feel like I'm gonna break a tooth. And we can just use candy melts. So this is way softer. Here's an example of how they would look if you use candy melts. Oh no, it's smudged. Okay, so this is how it would look like. I made a cupcake like this earlier and I just took off the eyes just to show you guys, but this is how it looks like when you use candy melts. You just add the red frosting on top of it, but I want my spider to look a little bit more wicked, so I'm just not going to use any white. I'm just going to use red dots. Look at that. Oh wait. Look at that. Wicked. Spooky. On to the next cupcake. So the next one is going to be a drowning witch in her own brew. This one is super cute. I think you guys are going to love it. So all you need is green frosting, or again, if you guys want to make your own, just add green food coloring to white frosting. Do you see all these little cottons? And where are you coming from? You're going to need black frosting. Just, this is like glue. We're going to use that red frosting again that we made in the first one. Hershey's Kisses, candy corn, and straws. And again, I will be mentioning some substitutions. Oh, and you also need an Oreo. So this is the other half of the one I used from the last cupcake. So it just came in handy. We'll end up scraping the frosting off that later. The first thing you're going to do is frost your cupcake with green frosting. First, focus on coating the whole thing. Look at me. It's supposed to look like she fell in, so we're going to spike up this frosting. All you're doing is sticking your butter knife and raising it up, and these little loops come up. Your frosting should look something like this. Now we're going to make our little witch. We're going to make the hat first, and all you need is half an Oreo cookie, but we're going to scrape this off. I'm just going to use a toothpick and just take that off. You can give this to your little brother, little sister. I'm sure they'll love it. I just want one. Okay, do the whole bag. It's okay. So this is actually the one for the hat. We're gonna put black frosting in the center, and this is gonna be our glue for the kiss. See how it stays? This is totally optional. You can use any color. Since I have this, I wanted to just make a band. You don't have to do this. You can just leave it like this, but I'm just gonna do this. You can just fix it up with a toothpick. The white that's on the cookie from the frosting is bugging me, so I'm just covering it up with black. We're gonna get her leg and feet. These are the straws that you traditionally use for cupcakes like these, but I thought these were cuter. I saw these, so I got both. But if you guys don't want to use either of these, you guys can use pretzel sticks. They both match my shirt, but I just like this one better because it's like traditional orange and black Halloween. So first I'm going to cut it in half. You guys can make your witch's legs as long as you want. I'm going to do mine kind of medium length. There we go. You want to give yourself room to shove into the cupcake to be sturdy, so they're not going to actually be this long. Remember that they're just going to go in quite a bit. And for the shoes, we are going to use candy corn. And if you guys don't like this kind of candy corn, there's chocolate candy corn or fondant. You can shape it however you want. I personally like to use candy corn because I like candy corn, but I know there's a lot of people who don't, so you don't have to. 2 for her, 1 for me. So these shoes need glue too, so I'm going to put some of this black frosting that I used for the hat on top of the tip. We're also going to squeeze it down onto the straw. So this shoe is missing a white tip, but she's just like that kind of witch. I'm going to put them a little diagonal and spaced out and shove them in pretty deep. Frosting will stick. And that's our plunged witch, guys. She's really plunged in there. Dang, she's drowning. No. We're going to do a tombstone cupcake with worms rising from the grave. So you're going to need a butter knife, a Ziploc, black frosting. I have 2. Toothpicks, you're going to need that. A mallet. I have these mini gummy worms, sour, because preferably, but you can use regular gummy worms or bones or any kind of thing that you think will come up from the dead. You can even use eyes, like that's pretty dark. Oreos and Vienna fingers. You want to use cookies that are this kind of shape. So like Milano's or Velveeta cookies, those are fine too. Anything that looks like a tombstone. So now we're just gonna make a black base. So all you're going to need for one cupcake is 1 whole Oreo cookie. We're going to just use the sandwich parts, not the frosting. This butter knife to scrape it off. Put these frostingless chunks into this Ziploc. You don't have to close it all the way. You want air to come out so it always stays flat. So now this is probably the fun part that, I don't know, reckless kids are going to want to do. I'm just going to smash it all up. Let me just pour my dirt into this. It's cool because it actually looks kind of real. So now you're just going to get your cupcake and we're going to dip it in like this. Get all the sides. Coat that puppy. And look, it's dirty. So now this is the Vienna finger. I don't know, whenever I think of Vienna fingers, I always think of Vienna sausages, so it makes me laugh because like I'm a child. Make it as clean as possible. I'm going to cut it at 3/4 of the cookie so I have enough space to shove it in. Like that. So I tried writing it with this frosting earlier, but I found it to be too thick and the letters were kind of like you couldn't read them. So I decided to use a toothpick to make the letters thinner, and I found that it is more creepy and like crooked looking and it just looks way better. So you guys can just buy these little like tombstones because I know that they come like better looking and they come in those little sprinkle kind of packages, but honestly I don't like eating those and I like making them anyway, so I just prefer this. Like that. Cute. I'm just going to get my little mini gummy worms, and I picked the mini ones because the big ones kind of are too big for a cupcake. I'm going to use 2, these little thingies. This is going to act as my glue right now because I'm just going to place these worms perfectly and frost this so it stays on for sure on the cupcake. And just place it. And do the same thing to the other one. Like that. We're not just finished yet. We have some leftover dirt, so all I want to do right now is just sprinkle that over these just to look like they just came out. But yeah, this is pretty much it to this cupcake. On to the next one. So the last cupcake is going to be a brain cupcake. You can use pink frosting, but I'm just going to mix some red food coloring into white frosting. I'm also going to be using some fake blood spray, but if you don't want to use this, you could always use jam, watered down jello. There's a lot of substitutions, and a Ziploc. This one's going to be pretty chunky, guys. And we're going to use 1 drop of red food coloring because we just want it to be pink. So I'm going to be using this frosting on this color cupcake. This is just yellow cake. But if you guys want it to be full on brain, you guys can totally use pink cake mix and it'll work out. So now we are just going to put this inside a corner inside a corner of this Ziploc to make another piping bag like we did with the first cupcake. Scoop in as much as you can. Scrape it away. This part can get messy. And we're gonna twist it to just section it off at the corner. And again, I'm not going to twist it too tight because I don't want it to just come up when I cut it. When it's too pressurized, it does that. So because this is going to be a brain, you do not want to cut it too small but also not too big. So a perfect thing would just be a medium kind of size cut. Okay. So now I'm just going to put this on top of the cupcake in a motion where it is squiggly. And I'm going to do this all across the cupcake. I'm going to do a small line in the middle to section off the lobes, and I'm going to define that with a butter knife. So the last step to this is just to add our blood. All I'm going to do is spray it on. I'm going to move the cupcake so it moves around the grooves of the brain. Ooh, it's like inside the line right there. Look at that. And that is our brain cupcake. Okay guys, so I need my phone because I have to read this. Today's shout out goes to DFJYHSFG7. And yeah, that's who won. Here's the comment for you guys to see for yourselves. So that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys like this video, I have plenty of others and we'll be making much more in the future, so please consider subscribing. I'm watching you. And make sure to click that notification bell so you get a notification every time I upload. P.S. You can't see it unless you subscribe, so do that. Hopefully, I'll see you guys in the next video.